All right, so this is the period where we talk love. You see candies everywhere, flowers, chocolates, cards, your pictures put into some form of documentary with a love music at the background, and then one guy at the corner tells you, I love you, and maybe even buys you a dress. That's for those who really do know how to give expensive gifts. But the regular thing is you get a card, and then you go out for drinks, and other things follow. I'm talking about Valentine's Day. It's just a couple of days from today, and even right here on independent television and radio, we have a program planned for that day. But how do you feel about Valentine's Day? What's the best way to celebrate Valentine's Day? And if you do not have a loved one, because people say it's Lover's Day, you don't have a lover, are you still entitled? Do you still qualify to mark the day? And if you qualify, how do you do it? Do you get a guy or girl to just be with that day to make it special? Well, we're talking about Valentine's Day, matters arise, and everything that pertains to the matters of the heart. As much as time will permit us, we'll deal with it. My name is Daisy Leo Asikili, and I'm the host of today's show. I have a guest in the house. You will meet my guest, but before we get into discussion proper, we'll go on a break. When we return, you will meet my guest, and we'll start talking about Valentine's Day.
It's beautiful whenever I'm with you. What a time to be alive.
Another season of love and romance is here with us.
Baby, are you there for me?
Come, enjoy this Valentine's special season at independent television and radio's Couples Classic.
I'm beginning to begin before the love.
Love has never been this beautiful. Show that special one in your life how much they mean to you. Come, discover exciting ways to rekindle your love and strengthen your bond.
ITV and radio's Couples Classic is an opportunity to make the Valentine's Day as memorable as possible. Date is Friday, 14 February 2020. Venue, Prestige Hotel and Suite, number 1 Ihama Road, GRA, Benin City.
Regular tickets, 10,000 naira per couple. Table for 4, 100,000 naira. Tickets available at ITV Glass House, Airport Road, Benin City. This program is sponsored by KC Devices All-in-One Phone Shop. Sales of phone, laptop, CCTV, inverter, smartwatch, and accessories. Located at 68 Airport Road, before Akenzwa Junction, Benin City. And Shop 68, Bobby's Complex, opposite Urban Market, Ring Road, Benin City, Edo State. KC Devices, customer satisfaction is our commitment.
Edo Geographic Information System, Edo GIS, 102 Sapler Road, Benin City. For your certificate of occupancy. Chairman on the occasion, Chief Barrister Felix Imosili, former two-time chairman, Igweben Local Government Council, and Edo State PDP chairmanship candidate.
Special guest of honor, Barrister Ken Imaswagon, also known as the Rice Man, former Edo State governorship aspirant. Apostle Dr. Dixon Agbuanite, General Overseer, Christ Mission Ministries, 6 Okumbowa Street, off Nomayo, Upper Sokomba Road, Benin City.
Dr. Patrick Okundia, consultant, ear, nose, throat, head, and neck surgeon, and Honorable Commissioner for Health, Edo State. Honorable Sayaba Okumbo, member representing Oriental East Constituency, Edo State House of Assembly.
Osae Masayas Obayuana, Esquire, Benin-based legal practitioner, principal counsel, and head of chambers of Nusa Wema Chambers. Patriot Patrick Osage Eholo, president and founder, One Love Foundation, and observer general of democracy. Honorable Patrick Agbonkong, MD, CEO, Conconet Farm Nigeria Limited, and founder, Patrick Agbonkong People's Initiative, Happy.
This event is supported by Interdrive Automobile Service for oven spraying, auto body filler, and panel beating. Number 1, Yahilome Avenue, off Ozolua Street, the road after Wando Filling Station, Ekenwa Road, Benin City.
Final Eyes, Ice Cream and Lounge, 2 Ara Crescent, off Stadium Road, Ekenwa Road, Benin City. Telephone 0706 151 2333 or 0816 736 2842. Fino Eyes, tasty treats.
This year's edition promises to bring a fresh spark to your connection with several love games lined up, all for you.
ITV Radio Couples Classic.
Fire up your love life.
Valentine's Day matters arising. Love is in the air. Everywhere is looking red and white in the streets, even in front of your fast food, your restaurants, places of relaxation have red and white covering places. When you go to a boutique now, most of the gowns you're going to get, ladies, are either in red or white, and they have glitters in them. A lot of shiny clothes for the season. Okay, so you're going to meet my guest. I have 2 guests actually, but you will meet one first, and eventually you'll meet the second guest. So I have with me right here
Pastor Kingsley.
Yes, Pastor Kingsley EKK. And he's my fellow Isako person. Good to have you on the show.
Good to be here too.
Okay, so we're going to talk about this old Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day starts with love. What is love? What is love? Everybody keeps talking about love, but what does love exactly means?
Well, I want to see love from the concept of the way the Bible puts it. God is love. 1 John 4:7 and 8 says, "Beloved, let us love one another." So for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. So God is love. It's an embodiment of love. And we are his offspring. We are his children. And we have no choice but to also express love. And one other way to see love is to look at 1 Corinthians 13. You know, love there is defined in the most unusual pattern. Say, love beareth all things. Love endureth all things. Love believes all things. So love is actually God. It's just that when we look at love sometimes in our own hemisphere here, we look at love from a romantic point of view. But if you look at the Greek explanation of love, love has about 4 dimensions. There's the storge, there's the phileo, there's the eros, and there's the agape. And the one we are very familiar with is the agape and the eros. The one that has to do with romantic love. And the agape, that is an unconditional love. It's actually God's kind of love. So love actually is God. We can't separate the two.
I think I would relate better with the eros love, because there are still people who they call themselves free thinkers. They don't believe there's God. They don't believe in anything they cannot see. So all those metaphysics and all those things, they don't want to hear it. So, and they still believe they can love and they deserve to be loved and all that stuff. Okay, so talking about Valentine's Day, I don't know, what are your plans for this Valentine?
Well, we hardly go out. We go out once in a while, myself and the entire family. For this particular day, we are going to do it indoors as usual, but it's going to be special because what I do is that in days like this, after getting your favorite meal, we'll pop champagne as a family, you know, like and you know, cheers to each other and say nice words to each other. But the way it has come this year, I'm having a rethink that we may go out and to celebrate this one.
With the kids or just
with
your
the
wife?
kids. They won't allow us to go.
Are you
They want to be
serious?
part of it. Yeah, they won't allow us to go. You know. We are so knitted, so tight that when one is missing, you feel that vacuum. So it's always hard to leave them for any kind of occasion. They always want to be part of it, even when they don't understand the essence of the occasion. They just want to be around us. I think that is love itself.
Okay, now, and talking about Valentine's still, do you think it's, with the way people have been talking about Valentine, at least growing up, I've believed that it's for 2 grown-ups who are in love. So whether you're dating or you're married, it's your day. But that romantic feeling must be there. But do you think it's only for the married? Is it for married people? Is it for singles? Is it for only adults? Should children also celebrate Valentine's Day? What's the perfect concept of Valentine's Day, and who should be involved in this celebration?
Well, I think the common practice is more or less a day for lovers. But if you look at the history of Valentine, virtually everything is centered about love. And I want to believe it's for everybody. But it should be defined. For instance, the kids should know why we're celebrating that day and what it means to them. Okay. Like the storge love I talked about, the empathy bond love that exists between families. You know, you're going out with your family, expressing love, you know, showing concern, showing care. You know, it should not just be about lovers, because most of the times people, I think that this concept is misconstrued. Some people go to the extent of looking for a partner in a period like this and get themselves messed up. You know, in the name of celebrating Valentine. That's not the essence. One of the stories behind Valentine was of a priest who was going against a law ignited by an emperor then in Rome, who said people should not get married, that those who are not married are more effective as soldiers. He stopped most of his soldiers from getting married. But the priest said no. If a man desires to have a family, he should have the liberty to have a family. So he went against the emperor's decision and was getting people married. That was why he was imprisoned and killed. So you see, the concept is about, you know, togetherness. People understanding that love goes beyond just the erotic part that we are familiar with. If you look at the erotic part, it doesn't really stand the test of time. When you're going to stay with the person for the rest of your life, it must go beyond just the bedroom. There must be this heart-to-heart connection. There must be this deep, attraction between the two of you. You know, outside your bedroom activities, the person is not there. You feel his or her absence. He's not here. there's something missing in your life. Somebody is missing. You know, I work in a place where I have to go to work virtually every day. I have a place to stay there, but the home is so comforting. The wife is so peaceful, and it's difficult to want to stay there, spend the night, and leave her at home. I always want to run to her embrace. That is it. It's not about sleeping all the time. It's beyond that. It's a connection. It's more like a spiritual connection. You are connected, body, soul, and spirit. There's this bond you can't really explain. I said it's beyond just what most youngsters do today. I need a VAR so that I can catch fun. And after that, you let the lady go. There are no commitments. There is no responsibility for what eventually come up from the union. No. I think it's deeper than that. We should understand even those that fought for it, or those that died based on some theorists, they did it for a good cause. So I think everybody can be involved, but it should be defined.
All right, I want to bring in my other guests to join us in our discussion, but we have this news. You know, Flipside is the other side of the news. Like I always tell y'all, a lot of things make headlines. They get into the bulletin and we take it as a story, give it about 2 minutes or 3 minutes max to talk about everything, and it's never really enough. So Flipside will bring it and take our time to talk more about it. We had a report for the Weekend News magazine where the question was asked, at what age do you think women should get married? And everyone was stuck in. So we're still dealing with matters of the heart. We're going to bring that report for you that missed it on Saturday, and then we will talk about this whole thing of marriage, the proper age, what to look out for, you know, the other side of that story, deeper content. Yes, let's quickly have the reports done by Rosen Everame, and when we come back from that, you will be meeting my other guest in the studio with Mr. Kingsley, Pastor Kingsley.
It is a common belief that it will be appropriate for a girl child to get married early than a male child. But what is the right and best age for a girl to get married? Some residents in Benin City views were as different as their faces.
The time for any girl to get married is between 20. 20 is okay, because if flower fall, no value of it again.
If you reach around 30, you also stop to marry.
20, 24 is okay now because of maybe by then she should have been matured by then to be able to handle a home.
If you go to school and finish university, at the age of 25 is okay. The woman of age should be 20, 25. At least that age is okay for a woman to reach and get married.
On the part, the All-Star of Benin, Chief Jansi Hussein, said it is appropriate for a lady to get married between the age of 20 and 23, while a clergyman, Pastor Frank Amengo, said there is no age limit for marriage, but advised that a girl should get married when she is emotionally fit to do so.
For me, I would want to give my daughter out at the age of 22, 23. That's for me.
It's not majorly a function of age. We know that at least the person should be no less than 18, as it has been calculated that such a person is an adult. As we are trying to get into a school and is appearing difficult, you can still marry people go to school. Because if there's a delay, it gets to an essence that a woman, as you know, gets into menopause. And education should not stop you from getting married.
The age for ladies to get married may be viewed differently. However, in contemporary time, the age rests squarely on her choice. Roslyn Evorame reporting.
We don't come again with our empowerment program. Do it yourself. You don't tell where you they look for work and you not see. No sit down look come register for this Ogbonge program. We go put food for your table and even back make you employer of labor. For this edition, we go teach you how to make the following things: Valentine, makeup, hat, bar soap, toilet soap, liquid soap, detergent, ice cream, yogurt, orange juice, pineapple juice, hair shampoo, hair relaxer, hair cream, body cream, petroleum jelly, pottery, snary, fishery, piggery, and rearing of glass cutter. The date for this program na 21st and 22nd of March 2020. The time na 8 o'clock for morning. Venue na ITV Radio Corporate Office for Glass House Airport Road for Benin City. The training fee unko na 7,500 for one person. My people, una do.
All right, so that was it. Do it yourself is also coming up real soon, and you'll get your cards, get your monies available to learn a skill. You keep waiting for government to give you a job. You will wait till for a very long time. DIY is what's in vogue. Doing it yourself is the new way to make money. And I don't think there's any multi-billionaire or multi-millionaire you've heard of that works for a government. They have their own businesses to generate their own income. And then it gets to a stage where the businesses they've opened begins to work for them. And they are making their monies while they're in their bedrooms. But away from do it yourself, we're talking about Valentine's Day matters arising. Before we gave you we played that commercial on do it yourself. We had the report on what age to get married. You hear 25, I think 23, between 22 to 30 was more common. Then we had 35 and all kinds of age. I'm going to ask my guests what they think will be the best age for women and men to get married. Before the break, we already met Pastor Kingsley. He's a counselor, he's a pastor. He is also a life coach. He's right here with us, EKK. And then we also have with us another man of God, talking about Pastor Wealth. And he's also a counselor and life coach. Good to have you here, sir.
Thank you very much.
We've been talking about the best way to celebrate Valentine. Should you involve people who are not married? Should children be involved? He said yes, but let them understand what the day is for. I don't know if you have a different opinion, but if you don't, let's get to the age and marriage thing.
Valentine is for everybody.
Okay.
Everybody. The young, the old, everybody.
Okay. So, what age do you think is best for a woman to get married?
Well, I have this opinion of mine that once you are matured, you are good to get married. And maturity is not actually in age. You could be at age 25, age 20, 22, 23, and you are mature at heart. There's some persons at age 40, they are still a baby. Because marriage is about maturity, not about age. So if a lady is of 23, 24, and she's mature at heart, she can handle the issues that concerns marriage, she should go into marriage. But if you know you are not mature enough to handle those vital issues, you see, relationship is quite different from marriage. So if you know you are not qualified, you cannot handle it, there's no point going into it, because if you go into it, you make a mess of yourself. And you may easily just run out of the marriage.
What kind of issues come with marriage? I'm just wondering that one should be preparing for, that they will need to know if they can handle it. What kind of issues are there?
Well, you see, when you're in a relationship, for instance, it's easy to say, love, baby, honey, I'm hungry, and just dash into one of these fast food joints and eat your meals. And you come back home laughing and jumping. The guy may not be too watching, like he didn't mop the house, didn't clean the house is kept. The issue of taking care of your husband like your own son may not be there. But once you are entering the marital issue, it's a different ballgame entirely. You now need to understand this guy, the guy needs to understand. You see, understanding each other starts from the marriage world. You now begin to like see your husband as, this is my personal person, this is my brother, this is my father, this is my friend. And there are certain things the guy will begin to do that you now have to like understand that this is no longer that boyfriend, this is now your husband. And when he says certain things, you have to take it from your husband, not from your boyfriend. So once you are able to like differentiate between a boyfriend and a husband, you don't go into marriage. Your husband, your boyfriend could slap you and you walk away and say, don't call my line again. But your husband slaps you, you even go on your knee to even tell him you are sorry.
You serious about that? No. Are you serious?
And at the end of the day, the man will also have to come down. Your girlfriend insults you, you could beat her up. But your wife insults you, you don't have any, you can't beat her up. You have to, in all the offenses, still embrace her and see that this is yourself. Because the Bible makes us understand that for this culture, a man leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife, they shall become one flesh. So in your becoming one flesh, beating your wife is beating yourself. Insulting your husband is insulting yourself. So until you're able to see all of this, you understand all these little things that counts, you are not qualified to go into marriage.
I think for a single, if your boyfriend beats you up, you lock him up.
Well, you can't lock your wife up.
That's It depends on the level of beating.
Well, in the first place, shouldn't even be beating.
At all.
That's the understanding there. That's the
Okay.
authority.
So, what about you? What age should a woman or a man
I think
get married?
I will agree with him to an extent. I, for one, I would have loved an early marriage and want to have my kids early,
Yeah.
you know. But I've come to, even when I got married past 30, it wasn't so easy to now begin to live with one person when you are used to, you know, so many persons around you.
Yeah.
But over time, I got used to the whole concept and I'm enjoying it. But you see, marriage comes with a lot of pressure, a lot of issues. There's the issues of in-laws. As boyfriend and girlfriend, you don't have that intimacy. You know, scarcity has a way of improving value. When the person is not there, you kind of miss the person. They have not seen you. But you see this person all the time. Over time, the urge, the erotic urge begin to decline. What keeps most of this boyfriend, girlfriend stuff is the erotic urge, the hormonal love, whatever you call it. But in marriage, it's beyond that. It's a whole lot of package. It involves a whole lot of stuff. Your finance is now hers. Your business is now hers. You know, everything is for both of you. You keep seeing the same face every morning and night and day. You have to be mature to cope with that. If you're not mature, you will run out. For example, your mother-in-law visits and begins to say certain things that are very irritating to you. You begin to feel, why am I here? Or your husband gets pissed off one day and begins to yell at you. You want to pack your things the following day and go and meet your parents. But for marriage, you know, you are stuck in here. You're stuck in here. It's a school you enter into. You're not sure when. You never get no graduation. There is no certificate. You just continue till death do you people part. So before you get into it, you must be ready psychologically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, all round, that I will be able to cope. I will stay no matter what. You know what kept our parents together? What most of us have failed to understand is the respect. The wife always shows to the husband. Sometimes I recall in my early days, my mom and dad would have issues. Mom will say she's packing her things. Then she will look at us when we're looking at her. Mom, you are going. You say, I will stay for my children's sake. You know, she will, for her sake, overlook my father's shortcomings. She will say, I'm going to call my uncle. I say, Mommy, please, oh, your uncle is, your brother rather, is a soldier. Don't go and beat my dad. Leave him, go with him. You know, we'll find a way to broker peace. And she stayed all through the marriage. Not what we're having now, liberation. I don't think it's the liberation thing. I think we're overblowing it. So when you get offended, you go to court. When you get offended, you walk out of the system, walk out of the marriage. No, Bible says God hates divorce. So as much as possible, you must find a way to stay in it. So if you're not ready to face the challenges that come with marriage, irrespective of your age, just relax. It's not your time.
Okay. Now, I want to ask, in fact, from your explanations, I have plenty of questions to ask the both of you, but we'll take it one step at a time. What's the best place to meet a partner, and which one is most likely to last? We have social media now. A lot of people are meeting their spouses on Facebook and Instagram. You slide into their DM, 6 months later, they're married. And we also have parents arranging marriages for kids. You're practically marrying someone you don't really know. And that was the style they used in our parents' time as well, and they kind of stayed married, even when they didn't know the people they were getting married. We also have other means where maybe you just date casually, date A doesn't work out, you go for B, still doesn't work out, come on C, any option. And eventually you find, or you even date all A, B, C, D at the same time and pick one. So which is most likely to work out of all the scenarios? Let me start with you, Mr. Pastor Sam.
Okay. Well, in the older times or in the earlier times, it was easy because the value system was better. People were genuine. Genuine in the sense that you can tell this family, this is the traits, these are the characters of the kids there. So your parents will select somebody from the family to you and it will work. You know, and apart from that, there was respect for the home. It's a shame for the wife to be driven from a matrimonial home. So she stays. But unlike what we have now, the value system has depreciated, to be very honest, has depreciated. People have come to a point where there's this freedom message that goes on. So when I don't get what I'm looking for, or this man is not going to get me into this kind of scenario. I can't cope with him if he cannot do his deeds as a husband and working out. There's this too much awareness, which has also eroded the value system. I don't want to take you into Daniel. If you look at the image Daniel saw, the image from the head to the toe, you see the value system depreciates from gold to iron and clay. So the moral decadence has also affected marriages. So then it was easy. The parent makes a choice for you. They know the family in question, and they believe it will work. And because of the concept we had then, it worked for them very well. But right now, I don't want to agree that friends or matchmakers are the best option. For me, I would say, since there's so much deception now, because you see a lady outside, you appreciate her for what you are seeing. When you get inside, it's a whole lot of package. It's not what you went to price, that's not what you're seeing. Everything is artificial or cosmetic. So there's so much deception. So you now need a guardian. You need God to guide you, for me, for your choice of partner. People say God no longer finds wife. I don't believe that. It depends on what you ask. If you ask, he will direct you to someone who will be compatible with you. It's a journey of no return, and you don't want to go midway and pull out. So you need guardians to pick the person you're going to spend the rest of your life in question, not some part. You're going to stay with him or her, and you're going to see that face over and over again till you're aging. You're 100 plus, you still be catching form. You need divine guidance for that.
I'm actually thinking, does God even get involved in these matters? We see pastors divorcing these days, and they're teaching about marriage, they're talking about love, they are supposedly God's best friends, and I'm sure they must have sought the face of the Lord before they picked their partners, and they're divorced. And some are even remarrying where their partners are still alive and all of that stuff. But which of those platforms do you think is best to work out? Your parents arranging, a matchmaker, you just dating around, and moreover, is dating around that bad?
Well, first, the dating around stuff is bad. Bad is half of it. Any of the, whether be it matchmaking, parents looking for a wife or a husband for their children, or you finding yourself, any of them could work. Like we earlier said, it has to do with the mindset of the persons involved. Your mother could see a young man who is outstanding, who is serious with life, and say, my daughter will find succor and rest in this house. And they could work things out, and you may enjoy the marriage. But it has to do with both parties that are involved in the marriage. To a large extent, I want to shift a little ground from my friend here, that God is still very still in the business
Involved.
of
If you ask him.
if you ask him. To a large extent, yes, is in that business. God, if you ask God, yes. But on some cases, as the case may be, because the case of Adam and Eve, when God gave Adam a wife, he woke up and whispered, this is my wife, the bone of my bone, the flesh of my flesh, she shall be called Eve. In fact, nobody needs to introduce Eve to Adam. He knew quite well that this is a woman, and I would say another knew his wife, and they gave birth to their first son called Cain. But before you know it, before the giving birth issue came up, there was this forbidden fruit, which we all know of. And after Adam partook of the forbidden fruit, the Lord came at the cool of the evening and was looking for Adam. Adam, where art thou? He said, have you eaten the fruit from which I say you should not eat? And Adam said, the woman you gave me. It was more like, now you give me wife. So because of the wife you gave to me, I'm in this mess today. And God said, whosoever finds a wife, finds a good thing and obtains favor. Now every wife carries favor and good things. You have to find your own. But if you cannot find your own yourself, you need an help from God. He will render you that help. But in your finding, you must find. The Bible says, watch and pray. So when it comes to the issue of wife, you should pray and at the same time watch. Because there's this this kind of belief for some Christians have that I need to pray for my wife to come. And you just kneel down at the altar of God and you praying, speaking in tongues, shouting and asking God for a wife. All your eyes closed. And one fateful day, there's a case of a man that was praying at the altar. I need a wife, I need a wife, I need a wife. And he kept praying. And after some time he said, Father, the first person I come in contact with, the first single lady I will come in contact with when I'm out of here, that person should be my wife. And when he came out, he saw one guru, an imbecile, and he said, God forbid, Lord of Jesus, this cannot be my wife. Are you getting it now? So if you are praying, you shouldn't want to live with the woman. Like I used to tell some ladies, when you say, God knows, you are telling your husband, God knows my heart. It's God that knows your heart. Your husband doesn't know your heart. No matter how close you are, there is no way the man can say the intent of your heart, It is you as a person that will bring out what is in your heart for the man to know. And if you are not able to live that life, how will your husband know? So looking for a wife is your own thing to do. Looking for a husband is your own thing to do. But after seeing, after finding, you can, Father, if this person is not your will and this person will lead me astray, please deliver me from his end. Let this relationship come to an end. That is where God comes in. Because there are certain things you don't know that God can foresee. I don't know if you are getting me. So any of this relationship stuff, maybe you dating, your mother looking for, your father looking for, any of them could work. But most importantly, we should understand that it is our duty to look for the person we want to live with. And when we find the person we want to live with, whatever happens in the home, when we live with that person, we'll be able to stay with it, cope with it, because we bought it for ourselves.
Okay, now I will forget the area of the praying and focus on the watching. Not everyone is a Christian and not everyone believes in praying. Okay, so for those who do not believe in prayer, I think just focus your energy on the watching. And we want to look out for, what are those things we should actually look out for? From what you've both said, looking for a boyfriend is not really hard. You just have fun and live your life, you hang out, you eat out. But when it's now husband issue, it's a whole different matter entirely. You go about as a girlfriend, you make your decisions yourself and do all stuff yourself. Now you're a wife, you practically cannot do anything without his say so. It's hard. Okay, but what are some of these things we should look out for when we want to pick a life partner?
Okay, I think the key word there is compatibility. I want to agree with him what he said earlier. Like you balance that with that of God, that of you watching, looking for. You can't get your partner. You know your stuff, you know yourself. I remember growing up as a young child, I did promise myself I will not lift up my hands to my wife, and having too many people coming around. There were some I told myself, if I get married to this one, I will lift my hand, because she is not a listening type. She would always do things that I said not to do and come back to tell me so that I can go and rectify it. I needed someone who is accommodating, because I'm the eldest son of the family. And I have two elder sisters, they are twin. But I had a lot of younger ones that would want to stay around me. And I needed an hospitable person as a partner. So going through life, I saw persons that didn't fit that category. So what I tell people to look out for, the person you're seeing, can you cope with his excesses? Can you cope with his flaws? Can you cope with his strength? Is he going to complement your life? He said he made to be a helpmeet for Adam. Can you cope? When you see signs that will give you headache in the course of the relationship or marriage, is a sign that you should quit. You don't tell yourself that when we get married, I will believe God for him or her to be saved or changed. No. You're already seeing the traits that this will not work. That's why it doesn't have to be a Christian marriage. There are marriages who are not, Christian marriages have done well, relatively done well, because of the compatibility of the partners involved. So if you're looking for a person you're watching, you should know what you can cope with, because you're going to cope with that thing, like I said, for the rest of your life. You don't tell yourself that when we get into the marriage, those things will go. You don't go like that, because habits are difficult to terminate. They're difficult to end. So if you look at them, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to become, look at this person, fits what I want. It may not be 100%. That's why I tell people, don't start looking for somebody who meets you have a long list, and somebody must meet all the criteria on your long list. No. If it makes a B and an A, whatever, it's okay. The rest, you can work them out. Those flaws, are they things I can manage as a person? If you can manage them, then the person is good to go. You can start courtship and begin to understudy yourself before you eventually go into marriage. If you want to leave God out of the picture, like you rightly said, for those who are not, that you can get a good partner. You just have to find. Finding is different from just looking around, picking anybody. Finding means you must make efforts to select from among the lot. Yeah. Not everybody is meant for you. There are more than 100 persons that can fit into you, but not everybody is meant for you. Yeah. So you must be able to design your kind of person. Like I said, what I've observed, contrasting temperaments sometimes attract. Someone that you are a hot-tempered person, you're looking at a girl who's also hot-tempered, that marriage will be on fire. So you have to look for somebody who complements your traits. Yeah.
Okay, and now you have been talking about the Bible. I'm now feeling like I'm not a Christian. So I want to quote.
I didn't say that.
There's this place in the Bible that talks about food being good, the stomach is also good, but the Lord could destroy them both and all that. One thing I coined from there is, not every good thing is actually good for you. And it's not every good thing that is good for you that will be good for you at the time you want it. So it depends. Well, let's go back to Valentine's Day. I have about 2 questions before we end the show on Valentine's Day. Some people are saying it's overly commercialized day. People are making money out of it. It's just the day for us to sell our chocolates and our flowers and our cards and make the men spend a lot of money taking us out and buying us stuff. In fact, there are girls that if you forget to take them out on Valentine's Day, it's over. And all that. So some people are saying it's an overly commercialized day. It should just be scrapped and let it go. Some are saying it's good that we have a special day for lovers to express how they feel. But how do you feel about this? Do you think it's overly commercialized, overrated? We should just cut it off, or we should let it be? Or if it must be, should we rebrand it? Rebranding is one very sweet slang in those states now.
There is no special day in life that is not commercialized. Christmas Day, the Valentine Day, the New Year Day, Easter, just name them. Now, Valentine is the target to be Lovers' Day. I see it as a time of sharing, time of loving. And it's different from, to me, it's different from sexual relationship. You could take your family out. You could just buy things and share for your neighbors. And who say that the man must be the one spending? The woman could also do the same. Just the angle from which we're looking at it, that is a love affair, kind of a sex thing, that people now begin to like, okay, my guy should take me out, spend on me.
And I'll go give him in the evening.
That actually the person loves me and what have you. It's not really. So, scrapping Valentine will not change anything. The day is there. Whether you change it or not, people will still celebrate it and people will still buy what they want to buy. But I have this belief that if you must celebrate your spouse, your lover, there is a day for your spouse. A birthday is enough day to actually celebrate her and make her feel special. The VAR day is for everybody, but the birthday of your wife, the birthday of your husband, I may not say the birthday of your girlfriend, but the birthday of your spouse, maybe your fiancé or your fiancé as the case may be, that birthday is enough day for you to actually celebrate that person. I love you, I value you, you are so important to me. This is the day God sent you into this world. Not that I will need somebody like you and God put you here for me. I'm so happy that I found you, that you are here with me today. And if it's a cup of water over fried egg, okay, go ahead and enjoy yourself. If you have the means of getting fried rice and chicken, go ahead and enjoy yourself. But the most important thing is that we should not begin to move celebration of our spouse to the general love day celebration. It's just a time for us to create peace for ourselves and peace for the environment.
Okay, so the last question I'm going to be asking is, what gifts do you advise people to give out? Now, you don't forget, you said children could also be involved in this special day. They should be taught about love and day like this. What kind of gifts? Because I'm tired of saying chocolates and perfumes and really, you're creative already. Okay.
Well, outside Valentine, although for now it has not been as it used to be, in earlier times, you have to put it, just put what you can.
I like that.
But now I do more victories because kids are also involved. They also do this. They do some drawings. The daddy happy birthday, whatever. Well, gifts, I'm not the gift type, but my wife is good at that. She says, you do all the work and you deserve this, you deserve that, and that, and that. You know, but I'm trying to also change so that I become more of the gift type, you know, giving her gifts to show her how much she means to me. You know, one thing we don't do as men, that's why I'm okay with the celebration. Men, we are not very expressive of our feelings. That's why we are not married. When we are not married, we are really passionate and pursue you. As soon as we get into the house, we will be in the place from you will be behind. Now better come fast and better for you. But when we are pursuing you, we do everything behind your environment, you are everywhere around you. But after we've gotten you and we feed your diary, you are not one of us, you are going nowhere. That expression begins to decline. So maybe a day like this gives us a room to feel like teenagers again and appreciate the person we have come to be with. That's why I said there's nothing wrong with the celebration. As long as the reason, the concept, you see, it's not about the day, it's about what you do with the day. And if you do the right thing, it becomes a blessed day. Like my colleague said here, every day is supposed to be Valentine Day for you. But there are special days you can express your love. So I think it's helping us, we the men, when we are married, we have issues. We show our love.
I want to thank you to both of you for being with us on the show today. Thank you. And for all the ladies who are going to hang out on Valentine's Day, I'm very particular about the girls because the way social media has made love sing, it's all about intercourse. I want to say you don't have to spread your legs to get ends. And also, you must be safe. They're taking you out at night. Please try as much as you can to hang out before it's 8 p.m. and go back home. And if you're taking any drink, it should be opened right in front of you. You need to be safe. Your drink can be spiked, can be poisoned, can be anything can be added to it. Even if it's water, make sure whatever you're taking is open in front of you. And if you're going to eat and stand up at some point, maybe to go eat yourself or whatever you're doing, please don't leave your food unattended. So carry it with you, carry your drinks that are already opened with you, and don't just let things be. And if you're hanging out, please carry what we call vex money. Take extra cash with you. Do not depend on the man to pay for your car, to do this and do that, to pay for your food. If he decides to leave you because you won't follow him home, you'll be watched later for weeks. So go with your extra cash. If at some point it's getting irresponsible, you can just get your cab and go home and be safe. But we have a documentary on how to dining etiquette because we have a lot of programs on Valentine's Day. Even the IT Couple Classic is also going to be taking place on Friday. So you don't want to go there and you're drinking your drink or whatever, you're going on your food. You need some skills so that you don't look like someone just came from the village. So we'll just leave you with that one while we go. Be safe. Safety is very important, and wear a condom. So November is just 9 months from today. The results of my show.
Is commonly used to nourish and entertain guests during interviews, dinner parties, Christmas celebrations, Igor festivals, wedding parties, Valentine dinner, and all kinds of events. Food gets served. It is one thing to get served and begin to eat like a glutton, and it is another to eat and get admiration from those around. And so, proper table manners are needed for formal and informal dates. Table manner rules are not complicated, and most importantly, they will help you make a great impression at your next meal. Especially for formal dates or business dinners, immediately you sit at the table. Make good use of your napkin. The napkin is not a serviette paper. It is big, wide, and thick. Place your napkin on your lap. Immediately upon sitting down, unfold it while it's in your lap. And if you want, get up, pick up your napkin from your laps, fold it back, and put it on your table before you leave. If you're hosted in a restaurant, you are expected to order for your food. Now, order something simple and familiar. Study the menu thoroughly before you order, so you don't order what the restaurant don't serve. To show you're ready to order, close your menu, place it on the table, and the waiter will come to you. Don't yell for the waiter like you're at the bus stop. But if it's not a restaurant you're being hosted, maybe a family house, you might not have much choice as to what you want to be served. But try to eat whatever they serve you. Have a taste of everything placed in front of you. And for difficult foods like spaghetti, which is a common food in many homes, you need to learn how to eat spaghetti perfectly. Now, this is how you eat spaghetti. Once your spaghetti is served, don't twirl with the support of your spoon. Always use your fork only. Never cut the thread of your pasta with a knife. And once it gets into your mouth, chew. Don't slop like. Keep the fork in a vertical position. Pull the prongs down against the rim and twirl. Rotate the fork in a clockwise direction and lift. Don't overload your fork so you can neatly put everything in your mouth. And now that you've learned how to eat spaghetti, sometimes we eat and we get inconveniences like burn, onion, or we just have unwanted food in our mouth and we want to take it out. Unwanted food is removed from the mouth in the manner in which it is put into the mouth. Food put into the mouth with a utensil is removed with that same utensil. Meanwhile, foods eaten with the fingers, if you must remove unwanted food from such, you will also remove them with your fingers. We all know talking while eating is inevitable. So, if you have more than a few words to say, don't speak with your mouth full. Swallow your food. Rest your fork on your plate and speak before you resume eating. Don't gesture with a knife or the fork in your hands while you talk. It is not a battlefield. And also, don't drink with your mouth full. To avoid leaving food on the rim of the vessels, make sure the mouth is free of food and blot the lips with a napkin before taking a sip of your beverage. And now, about beverages and liquids we take at the table. We have different types of wine and different bottles, glasses for them. About wines, enjoy your wine when you're served. Don't rush it once it's poured into the proper glass. Instead, it is time for you to evaluate and enjoy the wine. Evaluating wines involve 4 basic steps: looking at it, swelling it, smelling it, and tasting it. Hold the wine glass up against a white background, such as a napkin or a tablecloth, preferably white, or ensure that the wine glass you're served with is a transparent wine glass so you can see the color of the wine. Red wines should range in color from deep purple to brick red, while white wines should range in color from lemon gold to golden amber. And after you've examined the color, you swirl your wine in your wine glass to aerate it. While you're done with that, you smell the wine. Put your nose in the glass and take a deep breath. Older wines should have subtler aromas than younger ones. And then you taste. To taste the wine, fill your mouth about half full and softly swish the wine around before you swallow. There are different wine glasses for different rounds. Watch and learn. This is the first wine glass. It is short and very small. You use it during cocktail parties. And this wine glass is the champagne flute. It is narrow at the top to allow the bubbles from the wine come up and you can see the sparkling clarity of the wine. We also have the white wine bottle. It is wider than the champagne glass but not as wide as the red wine glass. This white wine glass is very portable. We also have this glass for red wine. The red wine glass can come in 2 shapes. It could be a bit round like the white wine glass but definitely wider, or it could come in this triangular shape. The point is the bottom, the base of the red wine glass is always wider than the rim, and this is to allow your wine aerate. You do not hold the wine at the base so that the heat from your hand doesn't alter the taste. You hold the wine glass at the stem. Utensil etiquette is also very important. In most situations, where so much cutleries are arranged on the table, use the outside-in rule to tell which fork, knife or spoon to use at the dinner table. Start with the cutlery farthest from you and gently walk your way in. And if you drop a utensil, pick it up yourself and ask for the waiter to replace it. Don't clean and use it again. But if you cannot reach it, inform the waiter and ask for a replacement. Don't stand up from your chair to go pick up a fallen cutlery. It is wrong. And now, no matter how delicious the food is, do not scrape your plate. Scraping the plate or loud chewing is unpleasant to listen to, and it is considered impolite. Try to cut your food into 1 bite-size or 2 bite-sized pieces at a time. Don't cut it all like a baby. And when eating soup, spoon the soup away from you towards the center of the bowl. Usually, soup is served in a deep plate or a deep bowl, but please don't drink directly from the plate or bowl. And no matter how hot the soup is, don't blow on it or on a spoon full of soup. Do not slop like very delicious, and never tilt your bowl. Don't fill the spoon too much. Hold the spoon by resting the end of the handle on your middle finger with your thumb on top of it. And now, what you must do is fill your spoon by moving it away from you so it doesn't spill on your dress. Fill only 2/3 of your spoon with soup. Then sip from the side of the spoon quietly. When the soup is over, leave the spoon in the bowl, not on the table. In this era of electronics, please turn off or silence all electronic devices before entering the restaurant. If you forgot to turn off your cell phone and it rings, immediately turn it off. Do not answer the call. Do not text and do not browse the internet at the table. Be polite at the table. A simple "excuse me, please, I'll be right back" can do a lot for you. Do not leave the table without a word. Always be excused before you leave. When sneezing or coughing at the table is unavoidable, just cover your nose or mouth with a napkin and proceed as quietly as possible with the sneeze or the cough. Except in an emergency where you need to blow your nose, please don't use the napkin to blow your nose. Excuse yourself, leave the table, and use an handkerchief instead. Another thing you need to know is that food should be passed to the right or the left, but the point is, food has to move only in one direction. One diner either holds the dish as the next diner takes some food, or he hands it over to the person who then serves himself and hands it over to the next person. No crossing your hands over someone to pass food. And still on how things should be passed at the table, cream pitchers and other dishes with handles should be passed with the handle towards the person receiving them. And also, if someone asks for a salt or pepper, pass both the salt and the pepper. Even if the person asks for just one, pass both anyway. Each time service is provided at a multi-course meal, verbal acceptance is not necessary. But to review service, a verbal rejection of no thank you is given. And by the time you're done eating totally, just say thank you. Even as you celebrate and go for all of the ceremonies, eat wise, eat decently, and be smart. Your body is your responsibility. Please take good care of it.